What is going on, guys? Josiah LaRue here, and today we're going to be talking about some of the best and worst technology that came out of 2017. So let's do this. So yeah, guys, today's going to be more of a technology year in review. What was some of the highlights of technology in 2017? And there was a lot of it, actually. The entire technology industry, from home gadgets to mobile electronics to devices, even up to smart cars, the technology really advanced. Battery technology is getting a lot better, and that's helping in every industry. So let's talk about some of the highlights, the lowlights, and the overall year as a whole in the realm of technology. First off, automation. Automation was huge. We had smart devices getting a whole lot smarter, with whether it be Philips or Hue or Logitech or any of the other ones, building home kits where your entire thing, from your doors to your lights to your electrical outlets to even your with Samsung and LG and Philips and some of the other ones, getting into the smart appliances, smart toasters, smart refrigerators, smart stoves. Everything is designed to be smarter and connected so that you can have a more productive and automated house. And then, of course, controlling all of that is some of the big three: Google, Amazon, and soon to be Apple. So Google came out with Google Home, their voice-controlled home hub, which you can connect a whole lot of stuff and then just talk to it and tell it to control anything in the house, or play music, or check the weather, or do all sorts of stuff. Amazon had already beaten them to the punch a little bit with that, with the Amazon Echo and Echo Dot, with their voice control system being Alexa. And that doesn't have as many. They're working on the API hooks to do home automation, but as a voice control central hub, that already was there. And then Apple has some of that through HomeKit and through the Apple TV 4, but I think the real automation will probably come in 2017. I'm guessing they'll come out with some version of the Google Home for Apple products, which I'm really excited to see how Apple spins that up. Virtual reality was another big one. Of course, you had the big guys, Oculus Rift. That sucker had been in development for the last 3 years, finally got done this year, and then just recently, in the last couple months, they came out with touch controllers, which offered a lot better overall input than just a regular joystick, which you had to have used originally. But you do need some more sensors, so price-wise, that balances out with their big competitor, the HTC Vive, both of them coming in at around $800 for about the same thing. The nice thing about the Vive is the controls are already included. The headset is a little bit better, and with the two controllers you can set up an area that you can maneuver in up to 10 by 10, so it's a lot bigger and more immersive of an experience. But you're both paying about $800, and you need to have a virtual reality compliant computer. On the flip side of that, and something that caused a little bit of confusion overall in the market for the term virtual reality, was the Samsung Gear VR, and Google had one for theirs as well. And then there's even just came out a lot of knockoffs this year with basically Google Cardboard and YouTube VR, and some of the other ones, Twitch did it too, where you can just slide your device into a headset. Basically, it splits the screen down the middle. One half is for one eyeball, one half is for the other eyeball, and your eyes automatically parallax them into a virtual environment out around you, that you could experience basically virtual reality on just a headset that just uses your smartphone. So it was a great way for people to cheaply get into VR, but the VR that you see on your smartphone is not going to be the same content that is on a full-on desktop experience, because you can't really fully immerse yourself. You're not using your hands, you're not really controlling, all you're doing is turning your head, which is still cool. You can still see an experience that you would not normally be able to see. It takes you places, but true virtual reality is in the desktop environment, but you are paying a price. So we'll see. Hopefully the two can meet and merge in the next year or two. Phones. The phone market exploded. There was probably 60 new devices that came on the market this year. Everywhere from the small ones to the big ones, phablets. Everything got an update. There was a lot of good ones, but there was also a few duds. We'll talk about those in a little bit. But the big winners out of this was the Samsung Galaxy S7, S7 Edge. For iPhones, you had the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. And, of course, on the straight Google side, Google came out with their new Pixel and Pixel XL. All excellent, top-of-the-market flagship phones. Action cams got a lot better this year too, with GoPro finally updating their GoPro line with the GoPro Hero 5 Black and the Hero 5 Session. Both amazing cameras that are now even more rugged, waterproof, image stabilization, and voice control. You can check out my video I did right here. And there was a lot of competitors that came out this year too, with Nikon, Garmin, Samsung, TomTom, and several others coming out with their own little versions of GoPros. Some even in the same form factor, others in other form factors, but designed to be rugged and take HD footage in more extreme circumstances. Drones got more popular. There was a ton of just baseline entry drones. People are really getting into this whole drone market, but some for the big dogs. DJI Phantom came out with their new Phantom 4 regular and Pro line, 4K sensors, great stability, a brand new platform, and then they also made mini ones. The DJI Maverick was designed to compete with the GoPro Karma, as well as Parrot came out with one of their semi-professional drones. So the mid-level market as well. The GoPro Karma was very promising, but ran into some issues. More on that in a little bit. And finally, laptops. With the better battery life, laptops are continuing to get thinner and thinner. Now, that's not always the greatest thing, but there has been some pretty impressive models. Dell came out with their brand new one, HP with their Spectre line, and of course, Apple with the new MacBook and even the MacBook Pros. MacBook was a very bold choice for Apple, going with only 2 and 4 USB-C ports for both charging and I/O and video in and out, all over those same ports. So technology, while they could do it, I feel is a little bit early for the market, but Apple's always been a very much of a pioneer, pushing new ports and standards in to the market ahead of time, so it'll be interesting to see how the market adopts this new technology. So now let's talk about some of the best, the worst, and an interesting combination for this year, best and worst. So let's get into it. First of all, best. For phones, I'm going to go with the iPhone 7 for the iPhone side, iOS. I'm personally an iOS user. I have the new iPhone 7, and I absolutely love it. The headphone jack was somewhat of a turnoff for some people, but for me, I was absolutely fine with it. I don't really use headphones that much anyways, so if I do, I'm generally streaming to Bluetooth, or if I need to, I have the adapter that they included in the box. That's fine for me. For other people who like to use regular traditional headphones a lot, that's what the adapter's for. If not, then stick with an iPhone 6s. Still a great device, just not quite all the same features, but still, if you want that headphone jack, there it is. On the Android side, I would say going with the Google Pixel and Pixel XL trumps out the Samsung S7 just by a little bit. The Pixel XL has one of the best smartphone cameras on the market. The touch sensor on the back is very lightning fast and easy to use. The overall design is very simplistic but very sturdy. It has great battery life, and it's using stock Android. If I were to go over to the Android side, I would definitely go with the Pixel, and it's a great phone. If you're looking for the larger one, the Pixel XL. Samsung's were great. They were launched at the beginning of the year, so a lot of competition came out after them and trumped them out a little bit, but still, if you're already a Samsung fan, you cannot go wrong with the S7. On the car side, there was a lot of smart cars coming out this year. I think most every car manufacturer came out with a hybrid vehicle or something that has a battery in it, but Tesla continued to pioneer with the new Model S P100D and S, their performance models, so it has the 100 kilowatt hour battery for better performance and faster times. They also came out with a Tesla for the everyday person for only $35,000, and that thing sold like hotcakes. The waiting line for that is now obscenely long. And they came out with an SUV, the fastest SUV on the market today, the Tesla Model X. A very interesting design with like batwing doors that open up like this. It has an Easter egg that it plays Trans-Siberian Song as the doors in and open and the lights flash on and off. Very interesting. And it hauls butt and does 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. So it is obscenely fast, and yet it will still haul a bunch of stuff. It'll hold 7 people, and it's an electric vehicle. So it's very impressive battery technology and very impressive what Tesla is doing. And for the gaming side, consoles did get a lot better this year. The Xbox One and the PS4 came out, and within about 6 months after their launch, for the first time ever, both companies came out with updated versions, PS4 Pro and the Xbox One S, both smaller consoles with 4K video and faster systems. So if you're looking for a brand new gaming system, finally you have 4K content coming to a mobile console, so pick up the PS4 or the Xbox One. I'm still a PC guy, but if you're looking to go console gaming, you cannot go wrong with the newest platforms. Now let's talk about some of the technology flops of this year. Probably one of the bigger ones on the notebook side was the Lenovo Yoga Book. Now, Lenovo has always been very aggressive in their portables market with the folding notebook so that you can turn it into a tablet. However, this year's version was quite interesting in that they turned the entire keyboard section, besides being the CPU-based processing and holding battery, but the top was a completely blank touchscreen surface. Now, Lenovo explained this away as being a creative surface where artists can work on it, drawing, painting, creating on it, and then it will also display a keyboard with which you can type. But people found it very annoying to have to physically just tap on glass and not really get any type of feedback as to where they're typing. So it was really just a big turnoff and a bad experience for most people. There's a few headphones that were a flop. GoPro, well, the GoPro Hero 5 and Hero 5 Session and the Karma gimbal was a great success. The GoPro Karma drone was a failure. Within just a couple weeks of being released to the public, there started to be a massive outcry of people wondering why their drones were falling out of the sky or maneuvering way off course. GoPro ended up having to recall all of the drones within about 3 weeks after them being on the market, and there has been none released. Now, GoPro did refund people and give them some extra GoPro cameras to make them happy, but that's huge. I was really looking forward to the GoPro Karma because from the way that it had been marketed and the way it looked, it was going to be a great way that easily worked with my existing GoPro infrastructure and allows you to easily take those shots that you need in a very small portable form factor. Again, you can check out the video I did on the GoPros right here. But with that being recalled off the market, it may be a while before that comes back, so we'll see what the future of GoPro drones are. And finally, Pebble. Now, Pebble has been in the market for the last about 3 years. They were the original smartwatch and smart device wearables market pioneers. Working with great battery life and e-ink technology, most of their devices would last up to a week on one battery charge, and they were great devices for getting notifications and everything else. Since then, there's been a lot of competition, a lot of better devices coming out, and Pebble has been struggling to stay relevant. Now, they originally had just launched the new Pebble 2 and the Pebble Stainless Steel, a couple new products that people were waiting on, and just last month, Pebble officially closed their doors and got bought out. Now, unfortunately, what this means for existing customers is that all product support is done over. There is no warranties, there will be no warranty repairs. All support is shut off. Anything you want to learn is going to be exclusively on their forums or from what other people can share with you, but Pebble itself will not support you in any way. Also, none of the existing orders were going to be filled. Everyone who had been filled up to that point, when they finished that production run, all of those would be shipped out, but if yours had not been produced yet for all the pre-orders that they had, they were going to refund the money, but that could take up to 3 months to get that refunded, and you were not getting your device. There was a lot of outcry on the internet, but there was literally nothing people could do. Pebble is done. Pebble is gone. A lot of their infrastructure and their design team has been snapped up by other companies, but Pebble is done. And an interesting one that falls into both the best and the worst category for this year is the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Now, I did a video of it here, but basically what the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 turned into was a portable bomb. Now, what it started out as was an explosive new phone on the market, being one of the best phablet or large-sized devices with their blazing new processor, great battery life, and overall great operating system. It was one of the smartest and best smartphones of early 2016. However, within about 3 months, there had been about 7 fires and 20 explosions and a recall, and yet it continued to happen even after the Gen 2 or supposed battery fixes. Soft fixes, hardware fixes, and replacements did nothing, and inevitably after 2 issues with airlines and Samsung phones exploding and the FAA banning them on all planes and flights, Samsung had to make the best call and just recall every single one of their devices. They lost millions on this thing, not only in the R&D but also in the recalls and replacements and having to refund everyone, and yet some people still kept their phones. If you don't know, the Samsung phones should be sent back. If you're refusing to take yours, there was an OTA update that was sent out about 2 weeks ago, bricking all Samsung Galaxy Note 7. So now basically, if it hasn't exploded yet, it's just something to look at. RIP Samsung. It was nice knowing you, Note 7. You had a very fiery life. So yeah guys, that's going to wrap up my year of tech in 2016. Overall, it was quite impressive. I was very happy to see a lot of the new technology coming out this year, and there's so much more that can come out. I'm excited to get my hands on a lot of new stuff. Finances wise, I was not able to buy some stuff that I really wanted to do reviews on, but hopefully in the coming year we'll be able to do that, and I'm excited for a lot of new content coming out. Also, CES is coming out next week, so we'll get a sneak preview of everything coming out of the upcoming 2017 year, so you can be sure I'll be doing videos on that. So yeah guys, let me know in the comment box down below, what did you think of the video today? Was there anything notable that I missed in my review roundup of the tech this year? Also, what did you think about the smartphones, laptops, smart wearable devices, automation, virtual reality, battery technology, phone roundup, or anything else? I love to hear your comments on this, so let me know in the comment box down below. As always guys, thanks for watching. I hope you had a great 2016, I know I did. Check out my last video I did right here. Hit that like and subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my unboxings, tech roundups, or anything else I do on this channel. Check me out on social media, and as always guys, I hope you have a great new year, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!